Alright guys, it is time for the last prediction game video for Extreme Rules 2014, and as always, we end it with the pre-show match, which is going to take place this Sunday. It is going to be a weeLC match, that's right, a weeLC match between El Torito and Hornswoggle. This is a first time ever. We've never had a weeLC match, and I'm actually looking forward to this. I just want to see the match. I'm interested in seeing it, and I want to know also, I'm wondering if it's because we've seen a TLC match before, a regular TLC match, where you climb up the ladder and you grab something on top. You either take there's either a championship on top or a Money in the Bank. Actually, there's no Money in the Bank in TLC, but usually it's a championship on top. Now in this case, this isn't a championship match. There's no championship on the line. So I'm wondering if there is going to be something hanging above the ring, or if it's going to be a TLC match in which you win the match by pinfall or submission. Because last year, was it last year? Actually, I don't know if it was last year. No, I think it was the year before that. I don't know. The pay-per-view, the Shield debuted, TLC. They had the Shield versus Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan in a TLC match, which the only way to win was actually by pinfall or submission, because there was no titles on the line. So, instead of climbing up the ladder and grabbing, I don't know, something random, instead, you would win the match by pinfall or submission. So, I guess we'll find that out on Sunday. Also, I'm thinking they're going to be using, short ladders, small ladders. I don't think they're going to be using, the normal size ladders, because we've seen the short ladders before. We've seen it in Money in the Bank. I think it might have been when Finlay was in Money in the Bank, and Hornswoggle tried to interfere or something like that. I just remember that we've seen, really short ladders before being used in a lot of matches. So I expect those, but we haven't seen, small steel chairs or, small tables. I'm wondering if that's going to be the case, if they're going to be using also, smaller steel chairs, smaller tables, or if it's going to be the regular sized tables and regular sized steel chairs. Seeing as how it is called the weeLC, I think we might see the debut also of, small miniature steel chairs and miniature tables. So there's a bunch of reasons why I'm interested in this match. A lot of it has to do with just being curious and just wondering what they're gonna use. Or is it gonna, like I said, is it gonna be the big ladders, big tables, whatever, or is it all gonna be a small version of all the weapons? And as far as who I think is gonna win, I already stated that I think El Torito is gonna win the match. These two guys have already had 2 matches, one on SmackDown, one on Main Event, so they're tied, 1-1. I think this one is for El Torito to take. I think he's winning this, despite the Los Matadores and El Torito, getting the momentum over 3MB and Hornswoggle on most occasions, and just recently. I mean, on Raw, on Raw they had a match, Los Matadores versus 3MB, and while 3MB won the match, in the end, the Los Matadores, or more specifically El Torito, got the better of Hornswoggle when Hornswoggle failed, like a jump, and El Torito followed it up with a successful jump. Now, and then on SmackDown with the contract signing, once again, El Torito and the Los Matadores got the advantage, and got the momentum going into Extreme Rules and this first ever weeLC match. And usually I side with, whoever has, not all the time, but most of the time, whoever has the momentum, or doesn't have the momentum going into the match, I'll side with them, and a lot of times they end up winning the match. But in this case, I feel like, you know, despite the momentum or anything like that, I have a feeling El Torito might win this. And also, this is the pre-show. And I think on the pre-show, it's, you know, the faces tend to win the pre-show matches more. I mean, we've seen heels, though, win, you know, on the pre-show. But I find on most occasions, the face ends up winning. And with this being the tiebreaker, their third match, this might be, you know, their last encounter, at least for a while. So I think, you know, El Torito is going to win it. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my detailed prediction for the first ever weeLC match between El Torito and Hornswoggle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.